Imagine the Arabian Peninsula in ancient times. The land was divided into countless tribes, and most people were immersed in idol worship. Yet there was one house that every tribe held in the highest respect: the Sacred Kaaba. Even though many people had fallen into polytheism, they still honored the Kaaba as the holy sanctuary built by Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him, and his son, Prophet Ishmael, peace be upon him. Every year, pilgrims from across Arabia would travel to Makkah to visit it. At that time, Yemen was ruled by a powerful governor named Abraha, who served under the Abyssinian Aksumite Kingdom. He noticed that despite Yemen's wealth and influence, the hearts of the Arabs remained attached to the Kaaba. Determined to change this, pride entered his heart. He decided to build an enormous cathedral so magnificent that people would abandon the Kaaba and make pilgrimages to Yemen instead. Abraha constructed a grand cathedral in Sana'a, the capital of Yemen. Historical sources refer to it as Al-Qulays. He expected that its beauty and grandeur would attract all the Arab tribes. However, his plan failed. The people continued to honor the Kaaba, and no matter how magnificent his cathedral was, it could not replace the house of Allah in their hearts. According to historical reports, an Arab man later desecrated the cathedral. Enraged by this incident, Abraha swore an oath: "I will not rest until I destroy the Kaaba." Determined to fulfill his vow, he assembled a massive army. It included thousands of soldiers, countless horses, camels, and most frightening of all, enormous war elephants. The Arabs had never seen elephants used in battle before. Historical accounts mention that the largest elephant was named Mahmud. As the army marched toward Makkah, several Arab tribes attempted to resist, but none could withstand Abraha's overwhelming military force. One after another, they were defeated. Eventually, Abraha reached the outskirts of Makkah. His soldiers seized many of the city's camels and livestock. Among them were approximately 200 camels belonging to Abdul Muttalib, the respected leader of Quraysh and the grandfather of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Abdul Muttalib went to meet Abraha. The governor was deeply impressed by his noble appearance and dignified presence. He assumed that Abdul Muttalib had come to plead for the safety of the Kaaba. Instead, Abdul Muttalib simply requested, "Return my camels." Surprised, Abraha replied, "I came to destroy your most sacred sanctuary, yet you speak only about your camels?" Abdul Muttalib answered with words that have echoed throughout history. "I am the owner of the camels, so I ask for my camels. As for the Kaaba, it has its own owner, and he will protect his house." Mocking him, Abraha declared, "Today your Lord will not be able to protect it from me." Abdul Muttalib did not argue further. Instead, he led the people of Makkah into the surrounding mountains and sincerely prayed to Allah for his protection. The following morning, Abraha ordered his army to advance toward the Kaaba. But something extraordinary happened. Whenever the lead elephant, Mahmud, was directed toward the Kaaba, it refused to move. It sat down and would not take a single step forward, despite being beaten and forced. Yet whenever it was turned toward Yemen or any other direction, it immediately stood up and walked. Then came the miracle. The sky suddenly filled with flocks of small birds. The Quran calls them Ababil. Each bird carried tiny stones of baked clay in its beak and claws. By the command of Allah, the birds began dropping these stones upon Abraha's army. The mighty force that had seemed invincible was destroyed in moments. These were not ordinary stones. They were a punishment sent by Allah. The Quran describes the army as becoming like eaten straw, completely ruined and reduced to nothing. Abraha himself did not escape. According to historical reports, he was severely wounded, retreated toward Yemen, and died shortly afterward from his injuries. The most remarkable part of this story is that the Kaaba was not protected by a powerful army, fortified walls, or a great battle. No human force defended it. Allah alone protected his sacred house in a way beyond human imagination. This historic event took place in the same year that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was born. For this reason, that year became known as the Year of the Elephant, Al-Fil. The destruction of Abraha's army remains one of the greatest signs of Allah's power. It reminds us that no matter how mighty an army may appear, it is powerless before the will of Allah. Pride and arrogance lead only to destruction, while Allah is fully capable of protecting whatever He wills.